I don't know. I think that maybe I relate to Evan. Oh God, shit.
Oh, now we're getting to the nitty gritty. Let me put my seatbelt.
Maybe I'm just like, how could anybody that cool like such a fucking boring nerd?
Hello, and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Steph.
And I'm Elle.
You guess what we're doing. Just guess. Okay, I'll tell you. We're talking about spring again. And to be fair, the first time that we talked about spring, it was for 31 Days of Horror. And so now the whole episode is going to be dedicated to spring and how I have once again converted Elle to my side of the fence on things. Amen? Amen.
A little bit. Um, I will say though, this time I guess I got it a little bit more like uh the oxytocin thing. The thing I don't like about that is I don't like love being reduced to a simple like amount of what chemical is in your bloodstream. I don't like that at all.
Well, here's the thing. It's not actually reduced to that. It's just that that's what Louise reduced it to
Yeah.
because was so anti anything being woo. She said, I'm a science bitch. I've been a science bitch for 2000 years. There has to be a logical scientific explanation for all of this. And I've never been in love in the past 2000 years. I've literally always given birth to myself. So let's be for real here. He was the one who was like, I know I'm in love. Why don't you know? How don't you know? I have a lot of feelings. I have a lot of feelings
That's
about it.
interesting.
Yeah, I've
That's
actually.
interesting a lot because if we are reducing it to the hormones, vasopressin's a harder one to trigger than oxytocin.
Mhm.
So, the fact that he fell in love so fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's roll it back because we're really going to talk about this. Also, let's just a kind reminder here. The last time we talked about spring, I was single, wasn't I?
Nothing,
Because I
yeah, nothing's changed for me. I mean, you were either single or you were dating.
that doesn't count. I didn't have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Those things. As of now, I've been in a very healthy, committed relationship for a year. So, so these things different, different perspectives here. So, wow, why can't I remember this guy's name? What is his name? Eric? Aaron?
Aaron, I think no, no, it's
He,
something else. God damn it. Basic bitch.
yeah, it's a regular white man's name.
Evan, I think maybe. Yes, Evan. Evan.
Really
Aaron, Eric, Evan.
We were really close. And he's literally just like a basic buzz cut white dude from California. He doesn't even look like the stereotypical Californian dude
No.
at all. He looks like well, he kind of looks like Scruffy. He just looks like a um not my type, you know?
Well, I mean, for me, if you have a buzz cut, it's gonna be hard for you to be my type at all.
I
Like,
like
I'm just, yeah, I need a little bit at least. Um,
yeah.
I mean, his face he's got a cute face, I guess. I
He's
just,
it's a little small. He looks real. I'm being rude to Evan. Let me not talk about her man like that. Not for me. But to each their own. And so, I mean, Evan doesn't have anything, he just lost his mom. So his parents were dead. He doesn't have family. They were only children. It's very tragic right from
mhm.
the get. And you really feel for him because, he has like a dead end job and he seems to be living like a bum kind of life, but as Louise is getting to know him over in Italy, you find out that he's like a really good guy. He was going to college. He did have a dream, but his mom was sick and he left all of that to take care of her. And now he's like aimless. He got into a fight at his job, so he lost his job, and that guy is like a thug. They found out where he lived and the police were looking for him. So he just took his passport and hopped off, said, "Give me a flight anywhere." And the stars aligned, and he found himself in Italy, right in the face of the mysterious and beautiful Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah. S- They keep running into each other. It's like meant to be. And he's working on this olive farm with the sweetest old man who's like faithful to his dead wife. And I love him. I love the old man. I would love to work on his olive farm and have like this rinky-dink little pee-pee bucket room and just live my best Italian dream. Like especially if
Honestly. Yeah, this made me want to go to Italy again. But also the old man, like how devoted he is and
oh,
like how his life was changed by his marriage and stuff, like that or nothing. That's where I'm at. That's whatever with these two, but the old man is more aspirational for me. Like
just
that or nothing.
mourn me for the entirety of the remainder of your existence or miss me.
Hmm.
Don't.
Yeah.
Heard, Freddie. So yeah, she was not with the shits, you know. He's just walked around Italy broken and he keeps bumping into her and she's very magnetic and you can tell she's worldly. You can't tell that she's 2000 because a girl looks really really good for her age.
Well, it's because she's reborn every 20 years.
Yeah, that's a thing. I am obsessed with this movie because I love that she is a monster every 20 years. I love this. I love this unhinged, like hormonal imbalance thing that she's going on, and she's so calm about it. She's like, no, I'm gonna figure it out. I've been trying for 2000 years. What's 2000 more? And also I don't date. She does, however, bang random boys around this time so that she can get pregnant and then absorb those fetal cells to give birth to herself in a new form.
Yeah.
What? It's incredible. It's
I think the part of like having to look like whoever you banged is like maybe a little bit too traumatic for me.
I'm gonna go big because I want to look handsomely beautiful. I'm definitely we're not doing scrubs here. It's not going to be just anyone who can get me. No, no,
I
not
mean,
about.
if you had that much time,
Yeah,
you would be able to amass money and influence. And I mean, you'd have to start over every 20 years, but you would have one up on everyone else who has to die and has to come back up, whatever. But um so I mean, it's just like the Mayfairs, they have a long line of everything that they amass because they have this immortal helping them along. So she's just the immortal that's helping herself along.
yeah, except she's not like a stupid baby man ghost.
So
She's
that's an advantage because she's smart, right? So, and she speaks all these languages. Like that is something I really like wish I could do.
just
Being
need
able
time.
to speak so many languages. And it really is, it's time. Time
Yeah.
limits everything that we do because you can be good at anything. Like people, you can train your brain to be good at literally anything, even something you're terrible at. You can train your brain. You just need time. But the reality of it is we have finite lives. And so
Mhm.
we don't have the time to like have all these infinite like things that we want to do. It's a matter of just like budgeting your time for where it goes, but when you are immortal, that's out the window, which is the coolest thing about being immortal, in my opinion, like how much you could learn and how many skills you could amass.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also think that she couldn't be a celebrity.
Yeah, no, you couldn't.
She would have to be influential in other ways, like maybe in like in the academic community, because if she was a celebrity, the TikTok conspiracists would find her. they would find her. She would turn into someone else, and it would be like that Avril Lavigne.
Well,
Um,
yeah, now. But if
yes, not
you look at over history, like there are tales of people that have like alchemists that have lived like the Count of Saint Germain, but they always had like these influential lives where they knew very rich people. And some of them even knew their secrets and indulged in some of them and lived longer than their actual life, like their normal lifespans for the time period because of it, supposedly. But they had to like bounce between different areas. Yeah, like you'd see them in Italy and then you'd see them pop up again in like France or something like that in different courts. Because when you're talking about the long length of time, like the world that we know, that's very new in the overall of
I
history.
mean, she made it over here and she decided she wanted to be a celebrity. TikTok wouldn't let her keep being. I feel like if I had this thing, I would get so tired. Being alive is so exhausting.
It is 100%. I
I
think
would
at some point I would get bored of knowing things too, or like you would reach a point where it's like I know too much.
I would literally buy myself a castle for those decades where I'm like, no, this 20-year period, I'm literally staying in my castle and eating snacks and reading books.
Yeah,
And I will come out a year before this shit gets crazy, and I'll find a boy to impregnate myself with myself. It's so wild.
yeah,
This, so also when she is pregnant before like her body chooses to do the thing or use her adult stem cells instead and just be pregnant, all of it sounds terrifying. Her body starts freaking out.
yeah,
And she starts morphing into like mixes of these creatures from our evolutionary past, monsters. She
yeah,
turns monsters in plural because it's always like a different thing,
yeah,
kind of. Except for that scorpion tail thing that popped out a couple of times, and then she
yeah.
has these syringes of I don't know what that she has to inject herself to calm that down.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're stem cells because I'm guessing that it's like something that's happening because she is starting to degrade and like her body needs to make that switch and so it like triggers it because it seems like when she says she ate the rabbits, it's because they had like a small amount of stem cells in them.
Oh,
Um
okay.
but I mean, it's a fascinating story. I just think that maybe the romance element was a little bit, it's
Well,
interesting, but like it just didn't, it's hard to sell it to me, I guess.
I know, and I get it. I do. But the reason why I feel like it happened, because he's just like I mean, he's nice. He's just like a Joe Schmo. I just feel like maybe no one, because she has dated in the past. I feel like
Mhm.
it probably had been like a really long time since anyone was as persistent as he was, because he was incredibly persistent.
Right.
And he was persistent through all the phases. And also, I guarantee you, he was the first person who ever found out or saw
Yeah.
her monster stuff.
I mean
And
that she didn't eat, but
yeah,
I don't know, you know. She did
and
eat
it's
some
out.
guy.
He did freak out a little bit, but like rightfully so. She was literally a puddle of person and tentacles on the floor.
And I think it was like kind like well written and well acted to an extent. And I don't even, like I said, like I'm coming at this from a slightly different angle because like I'm not even gonna deny the love at first sight thing anymore. Like I totally believe that's a thing. But I don't know. I don't usually think it's mutual. So
But the reason why I love this movie isn't even the love part. It's not them falling in love. It's not him. It's not like I think that he's this like, like master of romance. It's not any of that. I have this thing about when somebody sees the literal worst parts of
uh,
somebody. and that does not scare them away. And we're best friends. Like, why I have that. It's the same thing with American Ultra. It's not because Jesse Eisenberg is in that movie. Shut up. It Kristen Stewart was his handler, his CIA handler, and he thinks that he's just like this big screw up with massive anxiety that prevents him from doing anything, even like taking her on the trip and like proposing to her. And she loves him so hard anyway. And she like, it wasn't like none of that mattered to her. She literally left her CIA post because she fell in love with him so hard, even though there's all this things that are clearly wrong with him. And it can be said vice versa for Evan. Evan appears to have nothing.
Mhm.
She is a worldly traveler. She's educated. She could do anything that she wanted to do. And even when you find out that she's a monster, like she's dated around for 2000 years. She's got pieces of all those men inside her. Like she really could have she could do anything. She could choose anybody. She could go anywhere, you
Yeah.
know? And she's still stuck around also. Those are the things, I mean, that stuff just really, I'm like, I like that. But also, the monster stuff was so gnarly. I think she's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, because she's part monster, human.
Yeah. I think it's okay, so for me, it's that she is so awesome and she's
Yeah.
a monster and I
Yeah.
like that. And he's just, I mean, he's aight. Like he's fine.
He's her Joe Schmo.
I
And
know. I
like we
know.
find all of these, like we could be medium interesting people and our partners just like people who love us can just pick out all of these things. Like, this is what I think is so cool about you. Like whenever you talk about music theory, I'm just like, my best friend, she's so smart.
I don't have a
I
cursory
know.
grasp of things.
No, I don't know anything about that stuff. Anytime I read your blogs, I'm just like, this is my best friend. She's so smart and funny and interesting. And the way that she writes just dazzles me every time. Every time. You see what I'm saying? Like you know,
I mean, I get it. I don't know.
you don't like Evan.
I don't, yeah. Well, it's not even that I don't like him. I'm
Not
just
don't
like,
like him, but you're not into him and you don't find the appeal of him.
I think too, like maybe I just like I need more of the monster stuff or like I don't know. I think that maybe I relate to Evan. Oh God. Shit.
Oh, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. Let me put my seatbelt on.
Maybe I'm just like, how could anybody that cool like such a fucking boring nerd?
Well, I'm glad I used you as an example then for the gas because that cow, my best friend.
but
What?
like no, like I am the fuck up that went home to take care of my parents and my life is a living hell because of it. Like I am
Sushi.
that fuck up. I do I would if I had a passport the way I would already be in Italy and nobody would hear from me again.
And if a sexy monster lady swooped in on you and was like, damn, I can't even, I have to use my adult stem cells because you've just dazzled me, baby. Wouldn't you feel so honored? Excuse me. We're all just regular degulars out here doing our best.
Yeah.
Luis is the star. It just stuff like this just it just makes me believe in honestly, it makes me believe in stable love despite what you have going on. I was just diagnosed with diabetes, okay? It's become my entire personality. And every time my sugar monster is green because my blood sugar is good, I tell Freddie. And I'm just like, damn, I'm always talking about something. If it's not that, it's my PMDD because my period's coming. If it's not that, it's my ADHD because my brain is always like this. If it's not that, it's the shit going on at work. And if it's not that, it's something else. And he always is like, he always listens to me. He never makes me feel like I'm a problem. The right person will never make you feel like a problem, even though I'm kind of. I'm kind of a problem.
Like, I think problem is my brand, so
That's all, you know?
yeah.
I think what I would recommend this movie for is the monster stuff, you know? And I do think that, I think that everybody, I'm not going to say marriage and children are the goal because I don't believe that. I don't at all.
Yeah.
But I do think that everybody at least one time in their life, no matter how long, if it's 2000 or whatever, how many years that you're alive, deserves to be in love one time. I do.
Yeah.
The kind of love that alters your brain chemistry. And so for that reason, I'm going to give it 4 chuds.
I don't even think I can chud this, honestly.
No, you're lying.
I'll give it 3.5.
Yeah, that's very fair, considering it made you feel the feelings. You can find this podcast on the interwebs at ghostinthemagazine.site. You can find it on Instagram at GITM Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at Steph Spector.
And you can find me at Nocturnical.
Okay, bye.